Here be lions. They're the deadliest beasts tourists will see on a wild safari tour. Lions don't normally attack visitors driving around the park in open safari vehicles. But if you're going to leave the car door unlocked, that'll be a problem. Number 10. These tourists at the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania filmed themselves opening the window of their car to pet a full-grown male lion. They stupid? What? The shocking video shows the lion standing an arm's length from their car and one of the occupants reaching out to poke the lion as it was facing away from them. Another person in the car was recording the daring interaction, and as they tried to take more pictures of the lion, it had turned to face them. This lion was definitely not pleased with the young tourists not respecting its personal space. It leaned forward and belted out a terrifying roar that sent the tourists cowering to the other side of the car, barely managing to close the window on the side the lion was at. Message well received. Tourists stay inside their cars and never try to pet a lion. It's not a house cat. This is a great example of what tourists do wrong on safari tours. Here are more examples of what not to do when wildlife watching. Number 9. Some young photographers decided to hang out of their small white car during a lion sighting. The young wildlife fans climbed out of their vehicle to snap the perfect shot of a big male lion resting a few meters away. Other tourists in their vehicles ignored the main attraction and instead chose to film these guys, shocked by their frivolous attitude at the lion sighting. The group seemed cautious about going all the way out of their car to film the lion, but that changed when this girl decided to throw caution to the wind and stood on the ledge of her window as she photographed the big cat. The other occupants soon joined her, hanging out of their windows, trying to get a closer look at the lion, oblivious of the danger they were exposing themselves to. Soon, the wildcat got increasingly agitated by their presence and stood to let out an almighty roar, which made that much clear. We can see the now panicked group desperately jumping back inside their car, proving that they were, in fact, being idiots at a lion sighting. Number 8. Here's another reckless tourist stepping out of his car at a lion sighting near Orpen Rest Camp in South Africa. The dangerous moment was recorded by a fellow tourist in a different vehicle who was filming some of the lions resting in the middle of the road. Well, except for this one who was just minding his own business. When the camera turned to capture the lions laying on the road behind the car, we see the idiotic tourist getting out of his car as other tourists watch on in apprehension. He carried on to take close-up pictures of the ravenous wild lions who were within mere meters of him. Fortunately for him, the killer beasts on the road didn't react to his careless ignorance of them. That, however, doesn't make okay, and park administration warns against visitors getting out of their vehicles for obvious safety reasons. At the end of the video, a concerned tourist drives up to him and urges him to get back inside his car. Number 7. These tourists out on a jungle safari got to experience something they had never bargained for: a curious male lion asking to join them on the safari ride. They had been driving their horse-driven cart deep into lion country, and although they had hoped to see one or two of the fierce beasts, they did not expect this to happen: a huge adult male lion stalking them. The coachman did an excellent job to maintain the gap between the carriage and the big cat, but then the calculating hunter took a shortcut here. Watch how close the lion was to the carriage, closing the gap with each stride. The passengers recording this video seemed more thrilled than terrified of being chased by a lion, but I can only imagine just how dangerous it would have been if the lion caught up to them. Number 6. Footage taken by tourists on a safari trip in Guatemala shows a big male lion locked in the fright of its life when it decided to bite the spare tire of the touring vehicle. The car can be seen moving slowly, but the big cat seemed reluctant to let go of it. There's no tiring this mighty beast out. What with the average strength of a lion's bite estimated at 1,000 psi, the tire easily deflated. Luckily for the tourists, that was only their spare, so there was no need to get out of the vehicle for a wheel change. You'll appreciate just how dangerous that would have been, changing the tire around lions. Number 5. These tourists watching lions from the supposed safety of their car were amused to see one of the young female lions approach their car. One of the occupants was filming the interaction, but I doubt if they were prepared for what happened shortly after the lioness approached their car. It started licking the car and tried to grab the side mirror in its mouth. The occupants must have been intrigued by this, but when the lioness went for the window, now that must have terrified them. At one point, you can hear the glass screech from the lion's claws. The lion really wanted in, and it would not have ended well for the occupant seated next to that window had it not been shut. Scary enough, this wasn't the first time a lion tried to enter a tourist vehicle. This video shows a lioness actually opening the back door of the car with its teeth. Here's what happened. Number 4. So, this family was enjoying a safari ride in South Africa when they came upon a pride of lions and stopped to film them. Moments into the sighting, a young lioness approached their car and asked for a lift. Just kidding. The family thought the lion would only lick their car, to inspect it, maybe even scratch the paint or damage the vehicle in some way, but this lion had other plans. The lion straight up went for the handle and opened the back door with its teeth, much to the terror of the passenger in the back seat. Fortunately, they managed to reshut the door and locked it before the lion was able to make dinner out of them. It's a terrifying encounter, and it's fascinating at the same time. Who knew that lions could